My name is Stanton Belford. I'm currently an associate professor and the program coordinator of biology at University of Tennessee Southern. My story, how I got there, believe it or not, on a soccer scholarship. Now, I'm originally from Trinidad and Tobago. It's Southern Caribbean, and I currently conduct research on coral reefs located at Toco, Trinidad. My research looks at coral reef monitoring, determining surveys of species there. So I am looking at zoantherians, which zoantherians are colonial cnidarians, but worldwide their identification has always been difficult. But with genetic tools, it can assist us to accurately identify them as well as look at their evolutionary history. And I take students to Trinidad to assist me with that. Because my high school teacher took us to the coral reefs. And so when I wanted to do my master's at Middle Tennessee State University, that was all I could think of. So the difficulty from where I am, about an hour south of Nashville, Tennessee, is it's really hard to get students of diverse backgrounds to join these trips where I take students. And I really focus on trying to get students to apply because most of them have never left the state of Tennessee. Most of them have never been on an international flight. I have taken students of diverse backgrounds where their initial first flight ever was on one of these trips. When I learned to scuba dive, I've been to many places where I was the only person of diverse background scuba diving. It's still similar to that, but one thing I must say that has improved, 2 years ago, during the lockdown, the pandemic, Dr. Tierra Moore formulated Black in Marine Science. It was a Twitter, social media storm that started a movement, a connection with other persons going through similar experiences, being the only person. And I think because of that movement, it has given a lot of persons in marine science, persons of color, confidence. So that's movement in the right direction. I had challenges while doing my PhD. I never received any positive feedback, no feeling that I would succeed. But then when I change advisors, and my change advisor is a person of diverse background. The very first statement she said was, "We're going to get you to the end of this." And that one statement made all the difference in the world. I worked harder for that statement, for that advisor, and was able to complete. PhD students, grad students, you will have really, really rough advisors because some advisors don't need to be advising. But when you get one that's really concerned about your success, it's important. So, ocean sciences, to make my opinion from my experiences, to make it more equitable, more diverse, is to actually put advisors, mentors, scientists that are from diverse backgrounds. Let them be granted the NSF funding. If you look at the discrepancies of NSF funding or funding opportunities, They're given to most scientists from European backgrounds, and mostly males as well. There needs to be a clearer distribution for women in science as well as diverse persons in science. Because when you have those scientists getting the opportunities, it filters back down to the students, the future scientists, getting the opportunities as well. You have to start up here because there are many scientists, many scientists, both male and female, that are of diverse backgrounds in the marine field as well. Not just doing the helping work, but actually doing more of the research. It's just a little bit more challenging for them to get to the end. Diversity is very important in marine science. Representation is very important because coral reefs is very biodiverse. All right, different creatures, different species, different things making up this collage we call life. Human beings, we're not all the same. There are differences. I am more comfortable now to speak to any persons. But as an undergrad, I'm more comfortable to speak to someone that looks like me, especially in marine science, where I may be the only one. So yes, representation is important because the more kids, undergraduates see, wait a minute, he's doing research or she's doing research on coral reefs and publishing, maybe I can do that. Okay, so the advice I would give underrepresented students is to go to conferences. Even if you don't have any data to present, speak to other grad students. You have a question, read a little bit about the research of a scientist and then ask them. They are more than willing to give you information. And what you will see is that you become more comfortable talking to scientists, and then that will rejuvenate your interests. So at conferences like ICRS, where I see more and more representation of scientists from diverse backgrounds, and getting to know them and understanding that at each parts of the world, they're doing very important science. And they're grad students, they're PhDs, PhD candidates, they are moving along in the grand scheme of things. And so that gives me hope.